About a month ago, I made a video here on the channel talking about my own personal favorite top 10 client-side mods for Minecraft. Now with client-side mods, I mean mods that you install onto your own client, which you can use in both single player and multiplayer, that will generally just improve your experience while playing. Now that top 10 video was received pretty well, but I also received a ton of comments from you guys with more client-side mods I should cover in a part 2, and that is exactly what we will be doing today. I'm gonna cover 10 more incredible client-side mods for Minecraft. And just like last time, I've not included any optimization mods, and the list will not be in any particular order. And the first mod on today's list is called Jade. And this is what it does. So Jade is an information HUD mod. And what it does is show information about what you're looking at. So when I'm looking at dirt, that is what it shows over there. And when I'm looking at gravel, it will also display that. Same thing goes for coal, same thing goes for vines, and same thing goes for logs. Everything that I'm looking at will be displayed over there. And it can be handy for many different reasons. Maybe you're just not so familiar with every single block in Minecraft. And before mining something, you might want to know what a certain block is. But another useful case for this mod is if you're, for example, using a brand new texture pack. Now I always use bare bones because it just looks beautiful and very minimalistic. But if you like using new texture packs every once in a while, then you might know that some texture packs make everything look so different that at times you just don't know what a certain block is. And in that case, Jade can save your day. It also works on mobs, by the way. So when I'm looking at a sheep, you can see the name and its hearts. And when I hit the sheep, you will see that the hearts actually disappear. So you can literally see how much health a certain mob has left. How does a bee have more health than a sheep? I don't think that makes sense, but okay. Now something that's also good to mention is that Jade doesn't just work with vanilla Minecraft items, but it also supports a lot of mods. So if you have a certain mod installed that adds blocks or mobs to your game, there's a big chance that Jade can also identify those. Now the second mod is a mod you might have noticed already during the showcase of Jade. Because don't you think it's weird? There's currently not a crosshair in the middle of my screen. Well, yes, because usually there is one. But as soon as I look at something, you can see a crosshair appears again. It is not a normal one though. It looks a little different. And when I look at, for example, a mob, you can see it is different once again. And when I hold a pickaxe, you can see there's a square. And when I look at a block that is not meant to be broken by a pickaxe, it will have a cross in the middle. Though when I look at a stone, it will have a green dot. Well, it is done with a mod called Dynamic Crosshair. It changes up your crosshair depending on what you're looking at and what you're holding. So I just showed the pickaxe example, but when I grab a regular axe and I look at a tree, this is what the crosshair will look like. And when I get a sword and look at the mob, it will look like this. And when you want to replant something, like a sugarcane, it will look like this. Now I think you can see how this mod can be very useful. But that also just looks really clean. You get really used to it. And you don't really want to go back to a normal crosshair. It's actually really nice. And if you have the mod menu installed, you can also fully customize all of its settings. So if you don't want the crosshair to be hidden completely when you're not looking at anything, you can disable that. And here you have many more settings for looking at a block or highlighting interactable blocks, holding a tool, holding a melee weapon, and the list literally goes on. When you go to style, you can also see all of the different crosshairs that this mod supports and what it uses them for. And if you want to customize them, you can even do that. So let's say you want a regular crosshair to look a little different, you can click on it and here you can fully customize it. So let's say I want the default crosshair to look like this and I then want to enable a custom color, you can do that. You can change it to whatever you want. And when we then click on save changes, it's all different now. It's really cool. Now the next mod on the list is one that improves your visuals a bit. Not too drastic though, a little subtle, because the mod is called Subtle Effects and it adds a bunch of, well, subtle effects to the game. So when I start running around in game, you can see I'm leaving a little trail. It's subtle, but it's there. Also, when a chicken lays an egg, you can see it has some particles surrounding it, prompting you to pick it up. It's subtle, but it's definitely there. But there's more. When you place down a campfire, you can see there are a bunch of extra particles that are usually not there. The smoke, that's not new, but the fire particles Those look very clean. And torches have those particles too. Look at that. Or what about the villagers' sleep particles? Those are pretty on point. They even added some sounds. And the Nether has of course always been a particle-filled place, but especially with the subtle effects mod. Look at the glowstone for example. Regular fire of course has extra particles too, and of course soul fire as well. Another particle mod I just have to add to this list is falling leaves. Look at how clean that is. You can see leaves falling from the tree, they will hit the ground and then slowly fade out of existence. But the physics of this mod are great, because some leaves might just fall down right under the tree and they will just stay there, but some leaves just get swept away by the wind and they will end up quite far away from the tree. Some leaves from this tree are even ending up in the water or close to it. That's awesome. So if you like particles and making your game feel a little bit more immersive, I would highly suggest installing this mod too. Now we're not done with particles yet, because there's another very cool mod that adds even more. It's called Visuality, and this one adds some epic particles to mostly mobs. So you can see the slime is leaving a trail, and when it jumps, a lot of slimy particles are falling from it. Or what about the skeleton? When we hit it, you can see bones are falling from it. It gives a whole new level of immersion. It's so cool. And the same thing goes for a chicken, by the way. So when I hit a chicken, you can see it is leaving particles everywhere. Feathers are just flying around. That is so cool and so nice. But there's more to this mod. Naturally shiny ores, like for example gold, now have a glistering effect. And so has amethyst. That's awesome. And when it rains, even the water has some cool extra particles. That's just awesome. Now for this next part, I need to confess something. I need to apologize. Because I've been lying to you guys. Sort of. What if I told you I've been wearing armor for this entire video? Well, I have. I know, it doesn't look like it, but it's true. Since the start of this video, I've been wearing a full set of netherite armor. You just couldn't see it. Now, when you open the Show Me Your Skin menu, which by default is done with the letter K on your keyboard, you're able to change the visibility of your armor. So if you, for example, don't want your helmet to be visible, well, you can just disable that. Same thing goes for the chest plate, leggings and boots. You can also make them partly visible. So if I set them all to around 50%, then now you can see the skin underneath, but also still the armor a bit. Now, when you go to this tab, you can also change your elytra, shield and head visibility. Now, when you join a server with this mod, you're able to change these settings for every single player individually. So if I don't want to see Alexander's armor, I can just disable the visibility for him alone. And of course, you can also change the global settings. They will apply to everyone who you didn't specifically customize. Now, like I mentioned earlier, the default keybind for that mod is K. But if you've ever used Iris Shaders, you might know that Iris Shaders also has a default keybind set to K. Because when I click on K, I disable my shaders. And when you install a lot of mods in general, there will come a point where you need to customize your keybinds. The Minecraft keybind menu is a little bit of a mess though, because there are so many keybinds out there, and especially if you have a lot of mods installed, it can become quite hard to find anything. But when you install the mod Controlling, that will all be solved. So what Controlling does is it allows you to search for a keybind. So you can look for category, key and name. Name is just the name of the action. So when I do name and then jump, you will see the keybind for jump. When I do key and after that, for example, K, you can see it is set to toggle shaders. But that also means that if you have multiple keybinds overlapping each other, you can see all of the actions that are bound to the letter K here in one list. That's incredibly handy. And of course, you can also choose for category. And when you do that, you will automatically get a list with all the available categories in your keybinds list. So when we choose for Iris, which would be all the keybinds for Iris Shaders, there we go. And now I can just customize them and set them to the way I like. Now with the settings here at the bottom, you can filter these keybinds even more. So when I, for example, select Show Unbound, I will now only see the keybinds that are not bound to anything. And when I click on Show Conflicts, you will see all the conflicting keybinds. Currently, I have none. But when I would do reset keys and I then click on show conflicts, a lot is conflicting. It's incredibly handy. Now another cool mod is Shulker Box Tooltip. So what is it? Well, when you have a shulker box with certain items inside and you then break the shulker box and put it in your inventory, then now you can see a visual representation of what's inside. So when I hover it, and I then hold left shift, you can see everything the shulker box contains. To the detail. Now, if you have a lot of items inside, it might not show everything here by default, but when you hold Alt and Shift together, you will get a complete view of everything inside of your shulker box. It is so useful if you're the type of person to store everything inside of shulker boxes because you want your stuff to be organized. This mod is definitely gonna be a game changer for you. And then let's move on to the last 3 mods that are all more practical, you could say. And first up, we got no chat reports. Now, as of Minecraft version 1.19, Microsoft allows you to report a chat message sent by another player, to that way get them banned from the game. Now, this feature has been very controversial, and many plugin and mod developers have been trying to find solutions to completely disable this feature. And this mod does it really well. So when you open chat, in the bottom right, you will see a little log. It says encryption is currently disabled. And when we click on this button, it will give us a little explanation. You can encrypt your messages using a secret key. Only people who know this key will be able to decrypt them. No chat reports will automatically decrypt all encrypted messages when a suitable key is provided and the feature is enabled. However, be aware that encryption is not a magic wand kind of solution. Moderators and third-party servers can mute or ban you for sending what will appear to them as a garbled mess in chat. So the way it basically works is when I send a message like, hello, how are you doing? For other players that have this mod also installed, this is what they will see. But for people who don't have the mod installed, they will see something like this, for example, just a big spam of random letters, because your message is encrypted. So when everybody has the mod installed, you can just communicate like always. But this message, that's what you're actually sending. And this is also what will appear inside of the console of a Minecraft server, for example. And they might ban you for doing that. So that is something to keep in mind. Server staff might not react well to random messages like these, but the plus side is it will keep you from getting reported. Because, quite frankly, there is not a lot to report here. Now, the last 2 practical mods I want to take a look at is, first of all, Fast Quit. That was fast. Now, what is Fast Quit? Well, it is a Minecraft mod that allows you to quit your single player game instantly. Usually, it takes a while for Minecraft to save your world and let you back onto the main menu. What Fast Quit will do is it will let you go to the main menu instantly, and then it will save your world in the background. Now, you could see that it took literally 0 seconds to save my world. And the reason for that is my world is very small. I just created it to record this video. But if you have a very big world that you've been building in for days or weeks or maybe even months, then saving can take quite a long time. And this mod will make it so you don't have to wait every single time you're quitting your world. It's a quality of life improvement, but it's a good one. And then the last mod of today is, of course, Cherished Worlds. What does this mod do? Well, it simply allows you to set favorite worlds and servers. So, I love Hypixel. I play on this server quite frequently live on stream here on the channel. And if I want to cherish it, if I want to make sure it's always on the top of my list, I can simply click on this little star in front of it. And bam, there we go. It is now officially one of my favorites, which means I can no longer delete it and it will always stay at the top of my list. And of course, you can do this for single player worlds too. Now, especially for single player worlds, this is really, really handy because it will keep you from deleting that single player world. So if you have a bunch of worlds, but you're mixing them up all the time, and you want to make sure you don't delete that one massive world you've been working on for such a long time, give it a little star. You don't have to worry about that anymore. And that's it. I want to thank you so much for watching. Do make sure to subscribe to my channel, join my Discord. Thank you so much, channel members. And then I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, see you later, bye bye.